Brooklyn, New York. Look at what happened today.
People looking horrified, frankly. I ran downstairs. By the time I got downstairs and turned the corner, the ground floor of the building was a sushi bar.
2nd Avenue and 7th Street.
Floor facade were blown out onto the street. And a fire was starting, and smoke was beginning to rise at that point. Very quickly, the police were pushing us back to clear the area for emergency vehicles.
Breaking news.
Along with my super, I went to the top of my building, and while we were up there, we saw the flames break through onto the roof of the original building, and the smoke turned very dark, which I was told was a bad sign. And then soon after that, the police started evacuating all the buildings in the neighborhood, so I was pushed back.
Tom, from what you could see when you reached street level, could you tell which business had actually, where the explosion originated from?
Yes, it was definitely the sushi bar, which is the... right on the corner is a noodle shop that has been closed up and out of business, and the next business north of that, on the west side of the street, is the sushi bar. And that was definitely what was first hit. Now, I don't know what the status of the noodle shop is. The gate's been down on it for quite a while, that it's been out of business. And then just north of the sushi bar is a little, like, palm fruit stand. Also, I only mention this just because after last year's gas explosion, that's sort of the word on the street here that that's what this might have been.
Yeah, Tom, I'm sorry, we're getting this confirmation preliminarily from the NYPD that this indeed is a gas explosion. No word on fatalities. Commissioner Bratton and the mayor on the way to the scene. What about you as far as shortly before the blast? Was there any feeling that you could smell gas? We have reports from people around the scene who actually said they could smell gas in the street.
Well, I had not been down on the street on that block this morning, so I can't. I have no knowledge of that, and I don't know what else to say in that regard. I mean, it's a very populated street, just being south of St. Mark's Place. It has street traffic 24 hours a day. I hope that no one was seriously hurt, but like I said, it's a high-traffic area.
Did you see anybody walking back and forth in the immediate aftermath of the explosion, perhaps somebody who may have been hit by something?
That I did not see. In all honesty, I was just so shocked at what I was looking at, and I didn't want to get too close to it. Yeah. So I didn't cross the street to where the actual explosion had taken place.
Tom, did you notice any sort of construction happening at any of those businesses as of late, or even up above?
No, I have not noticed any. Pardon me. Any construction. There's no scaffolding, as far as I can remember, in front of any one of the three businesses that I mentioned. The only thing that was a bit out of the ordinary was just that the southern business, the noodle shop, had been closed for quite a while, but I hadn't seen any workmen coming and going out of that place if they were renovating it for a new tenant or anything like that.
Which may suggest, though, perhaps that something may have been going on there in the adjacent building, but that's hard to say right now. So much of what we're seeing, we should point out, this only happened within an hour or so, and so developments usually on scenes like this, the first word is not always the exact word.
Before we let you go, Tommy, you briefly described the explosion at the beginning. Can you just go into a little bit more detail about what it felt like?
Well, I would compare it to, it was louder and denser than if you're familiar with an M80 explosion. I mean, that was a dangerous firework that people would set off when I was a kid. Yeah. That was definitely loud if you were nearby it. The thing that immediately raised my alarm was that the explosion seemed to last longer, the actual sound of it. And like I said, I could feel ever so slightly the vibration move through the entire building.
We should point out right now that the pictures you're looking at now happened right after the explosion. The building has since collapsed. It's a 7-story building, we are now told. The NYPD says preliminarily it does appear to be a gas explosion. We do not have word on fatalities. There were early reports of multiple injuries. At least one person was seen being taken away on the stretcher. Police Commissioner Bratton on his way to the scene with the mayor, where presumably we will get a briefing.
Yes, exactly. Tom Haynes,